Have you ever wondered what really separates the world's highest achievers from, well, everyone else? Back in 1937, one man tried to write down the formula, and in doing so, he pretty much launched the entire self-help movement. That book is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and its core idea is as bold as it is simple. Your mindset has the power to shape your reality.
Now, this isn't just any old book on success. People literally call it the granddaddy of all motivational literature, and it came from a pretty audacious project. The industrialist Andrew Carnegie basically told a young Napoleon Hill to go spend 20 years studying the most successful people on the planet. We're talking titans like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and John D. Rockefeller, and figure out a formula for success that anyone could follow.
So, did it catch on? Oh, you have no idea. To this day, Think and Grow Rich has sold over 15 million copies worldwide. That just goes to show you how much its message continues to resonate with people, decade after decade.
So what is it about this book that makes it so legendary? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. We'll look at its core philosophy, walk through the famous 13 steps to riches, tackle some of the modern critiques, and then finally, figure out why we're all still talking about it nearly a century later. At its heart, the entire book is really just Napoleon Hill's attempt to answer one single powerful question. What makes a winner? What are the common threads, the mental habits that let some people achieve these incredible things while so many others don't? The central theme, the big idea that everything else is built on is this: your thoughts are incredibly powerful. Hill argues that a thought, when it becomes a burning obsession, can literally be transformed from just an idea in your head into tangible, physical reality. And for Hill, the whole process kicks off right here, with desire. But he's really specific about this. This is not just idle wishing, like, oh, I hope I get rich. No way. He's talking about a white-hot, all-consuming obsession with a very definite goal. It's the engine that powers everything else.
Next up, you've got faith. But again, Hill's definition here is key. It's not just being optimistic. He means you have to cultivate this deep, unshakable conviction to the point where you act and feel as if your goal is already a done deal. That, he says, is how you program your subconscious mind for success.
So, how in the world do you build that kind of unshakable faith? Well, Hill gives us a tool. It's called autosuggestion. Think of it as the practical method for feeding your subconscious mind exactly what you want it to believe, using repeated, positive thoughts and affirmations until they just become your default way of thinking. But, and this is a huge but, there's a crucial catch. Just repeating empty words over and over won't do a thing. Hill was absolutely adamant that plain, unemotional thoughts have zero effect. To really get through to your subconscious, you have to charge those thoughts with intense feeling and belief. It's the emotion that gives them their power. Okay, so this whole philosophy then gets broken down into a practical blueprint. These are Hill's famous 13 steps, which he lays out as the step-by-step guide to turning that burning desire into actual reality. The first group of steps is all about your inner world, getting your head in the game. It covers the core ideas we just talked about: desire, faith, and autosuggestion, but also adds the need for specialized knowledge, a powerful imagination, and really understanding your own subconscious mind. This is the foundation. Then the second set of principles is where this mental framework meets the real world. This is all about action, creating a solid, organized plan, making firm decisions, and showing just relentless persistence. He also brings in the power of collaboration with what he calls the Mastermind group, and finally, trusting your gut, what Hill calls the sixth sense. Okay, but let's be real. A book written in 1937 is bound to have some things that don't quite land with us today. So, while it's undeniably a classic, it is definitely not without its modern-day critics.
The book really divides people. On one hand, it gets massive praise for its incredible motivational power and its focus on timeless ideas like setting goals and just not giving up. But on the other hand, critics find the language super wordy and dated. One reviewer famously called it a slog to get through, and they argue it oversimplifies success with an almost hypnotic, cult-like vibe.
Of all the concepts in the book, there's one that consistently leaves modern readers just scratching their heads. It sounds pretty out there, but Hill himself thought it was a source of almost superhuman power.
It's called the mystery of sex transmutation. Yeah, you heard that right. Hill's theory was that sexual desire is the most powerful human emotion we have.
He believed that if you could learn to harness that intense energy and redirect it away from just physical expression and toward your creative or professional goals, you could supercharge your imagination, your courage, and your persistence.
So, with all its quirks and its 1930s language, why on earth is a book from the Great Depression era still a global bestseller? What's its enduring legacy? I think its lasting appeal really comes down to a few key things. It gives people a clear, step-by-step roadmap. It was one of the first books to really hammer home that your mindset is the starting point for everything. It introduced game-changing concepts like the Mastermind Alliance, and ultimately, it's just a potent dose of motivation. Plus, you can apply its principles to pretty much any goal, not just making money.
And all of this leaves us with the central question, doesn't it? Is Think and Grow Rich a timeless manual for success, a blueprint that's just as true today as it was in 1937? Or is its incredible power really more of a placebo effect? It works simply because it makes you believe with all your heart that you can succeed. The answer, just like the Richest Hill talks about, might just be in your own mind.